Hello, d'accord. Salut tout le monde. That's a little bit of French that I brought to Cannes. I had French in school, but we'll be talking in English about Farcaster. Farcaster itself, really briefly, is a social network, and it should pretty much be seen as that. It has a lot of crypto users, and that's why we're at ACC talking about Farcaster, though Farcaster frames are now called mini-apps. On the right-hand side, you can see a little directory of a few of those with the trending screen that really looks similar to what you may know from an app store. So this is a screen that you could also see in the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, or wherever. And we're going to take care of why do you even care? What is great about the user experience that you get from being inside of another app. That's a concept that's way more common in Asia than it is in Europe. And how can we take that and actually go viral? Like, virality is a thing that in crypto we talk about a lot because, well, we just need users somehow, right? So how can we take that? How can we go there? The Farcaster team themselves, they say, well, get your first 1,000 users, and I can speak to getting your first like 5,000 or 10,000 users since we've done that for a few projects on Farcaster, and then I'll show you some of the usability and the user interface that just you've probably never seen across crypto because we're all just web apps, and we all know web apps. Funnily enough, why am I here? Well, we worked with Morpho, Super, now acquired by the Farcaster team, and a few other projects, namely Clanker, Ponder, Megapod, Asgina, and a few others, to just really grow their user base, work on their mini-apps, work on their Farcaster stuff. So that's why we'll be talking about Farcaster and mini-apps. Generally, on the left-hand side, you can see an excerpt from a social media feed, which may be something that's quite new. Why is there a little like preview image and then a button in my social media feed? Usually we know some kind of like open graphs, like we know some nice link rendering, right? Well, now this brings up this little app in the middle. Interestingly, I'm playing this against other players. So my friends and I, we actually compare our score and we see how well we're doing, and we have all of this social in there because Farcaster under the hood is there. It's kind of like if you're familiar with Facebook games back in the day, it's kind of like doing Facebook games again, just you could do way more because you have crypto. Facebook initially then, towards the end of their era, started introducing payments. Well, with crypto, you can use whatever chain you want to do payments at whatever speed, at whatever terms, at whatever cost you want to do it as, with whatever permissions, right? So that's the cool thing. On the right-hand side is the app we built with Morpho, where you can just deposit into whatever wallet there is. For those unfamiliar, this is simple lending. So instead of going to a bank, it now takes you 20 seconds from seeing on the left-hand side in your feed that somebody just made some interest or withdrew some money to going and just actually having money deposited. Under the hood, in this case, this is on base in Morpho vaults. This could be Aave, this could be whatever other protocol you want. This could be a Uniswap. Swap into your favorite token. We don't really care. It's literally just you connecting a crypto wallet. So what does it mean? Technically, it's a web app. So there's this extra social context, right? So we have this feed there, we have the usernames, it's all cool, it's fun and games, but it's just a web app. So you can take whatever dApp you currently have, convert to crypto app, and just be good. For the user, that means it's really easy. They don't have to manage an external wallet anymore. They don't have to manage the connection. Like, I don't know how many of you in this room have tried to use Wallet Connect on mobile with your laptop. I haven't had a good experience with that. We don't have to do this anymore. And that's the cool thing for me. Aneri from Coinbase built a really cool game here where she just told you after a little animation from the feed, you go into this game and you can then click share and it shows, okay, I've now shared my result in this game. This doesn't have to be a game result. This could be me doing a swap. This could be me doing a successful trade. This could be be literally like me doing anything with a funny AI-generated image and caption that I just want to share onto the feed. You've probably seen Uniswap do little trading cards the past few days on Twitter. Well, you couldn't literally go to the app and do your own trading card unless you knew where that app was, right? If this would have been in Farcaster, you would have had this little link in this mini app, and then you would just be in there, get your own card, boom, be able to post it. So the conversion rate for Uniswap would probably be way, way, way higher. And that, to me, is the cool new social experiences that we can enable. Coinbase is building the same feature into their wallet. So for all of you looking for distribution, they have a lot of users. And why do you care outside of just users? Well, with Mofo, we were able to drive $10,000 in deposits in the first 24 hours. Then other people have been able to do 1.5 million microtransactions with just 5,000 users. So you don't need to get like hundreds of thousands of users, depending on what you do. What the Noise app does, it's like the one in the middle, it tips each time you interact with someone. So you probably have a lot of crypto in your wallet that you don't use or care about. Well, you can just set that to be tipped to people. So if that 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents isn't valuable to you, you can just circle that around among friends or just send it to a friend and potentially they'll be able to swap it, or it's just generally fun. Then we've been talking a lot about Ethereum, but it's also working with Solana. So Yash has built Sendshot, which is similarly like a token launchpad just within a mini app. What does he get? Well, he gets the social and the sharing, right? So when we go one step back, you can see all of this like viral loop of, oh, you see it in a feed, you open it, you take action, and you're right back in a feed sharing it, meaning you just literally go viral. He did that and has generated 30 Sol in volume in, I don't know, in actual revenue, from, as you can see, 4,000 users out of just 500 transactions in roughly 4 days. Yes, obviously more reach is better. It's a social platform, right? We all do Twitter marketing just to reach our users. Here, as you can see, you have the crypto stats. So the benefit of just looking at Farcaster data, even outside of mini apps, is we now know what are the financial statements of all the users we may be targeting. So one query we could run is, give me any user with an ETH balance over 32, and if you're a staking provider, that's somebody you would want to send a direct message to. And you already know more than just their Ethereum address balance, because you can look at their social data, and their social data gives you, do they speak German, do they speak French, do they speak English, do they speak Spanish? So maybe your cold outreach message should be in one of those languages instead of Arabic or something else, right? And to just look at the numbers on Ethereum blockchains, namely Base, Ethereum, and Optimism, which are tracked in this Dune dashboard, there's $84 million in stablecoins just sitting in wallets connected to Farcaster. So why were we able to drive in this little Morpho app here, where all you do is just a deposit, why were we able to drive $10,000 in a single day? Because there's $84 million, and we haven't even tapped into all of it. So that, to me, is some of the promise where if you want to get users where you actually know who they are, you have that social data, you can use Farcaster for that. As a developer, Coinbase has some docs, we also have docs on our page, but the main thing to take away that I think Coinbase has articulated really well here is, you take your existing web app, you just add some simple, like an open graph tag. If you ask your developers, they'll know what to do, because it's this little preview that also just renders anywhere. And then you're basically done. It's like a two-step process to take any web app, and it takes maximum a day, including quality assurance testing and final review. And then you're done, you can play it, and it's also coming to Coinbase Wallet. I'm not sure if you're familiar with how many users Coinbase Wallet has. Let's just say it has a lot. So you can tap into that. Coinbase is also doing on-chain summer, so they'll have marketing to go with it. As a user, why am I talking about this? The really cool thing is I'm immediately signed in. We have a social account, so we don't need to do Google or whatever. I'm just signed in. And I can use the wallet, no hassle, and it's mobile first. So all of the screenshots I've been showing you, besides the dashboards, are mobile first. This app is mobile first. The apps here are mobile first. All of the apps here are built mobile first. And the greatest thing, you get to be in your users' notifications. Like, to me, that is the most undersold part of Farcaster mini apps, is I can now send my user a notification. The cool thing here is how many of you are able, through your just general DEX or crypto app, to send a push notification to your user's mobile phone. Not a lot if you haven't built a mobile app. Well, here you can use your web app. Let's just go back. This is your web app that now sends push notifications to the user, right? This, to me, is the really cool thing. They also have their own home screen, yada, yada. That's really cool. Where else do you get that? The cool thing about virality now, right? So we've understood this is a web app. We can take our crypto app. We add the social data. We can do targeting, like even better than Facebook data, because Facebook didn't give you the financial data. Facebook gave you all the social. They never gave you the financial. Crypto gives you the financial data unless we have privacy on chain, which we don't have, right? So there's a good time for marketers to really use that. So how do you go viral? Generally, it's let a user share success moments. When you think about when do you send a text message to a friend about an app, it's generally a success, a funny moment, or something you deeply, deeply care about. And that is where the human then comes in. Like, we're sitting here in a room at a conference because we want to just hear about some cool stuff, meet people that we usually just see a few times at conferences a year, that we work with. Humans are inherently social. Even though most of us in the crypto space, or developers especially, sit at computers for 10, 12 hours a day, this is how we can just bring the social element back, that on Twitter is a right hook into just launch my app, then you have to connect your wallet, and then you're in somehow. Right here, I opened the app, I'm immediately logged in as Samuel, and Eri doesn't have to do any kind of login flow. If you now combine this with the login flow your app already has, there's a little bit of work to do, but the cool thing is this is seamless for the user. So the thing you're doing is you're literally taking out steps that you otherwise would have to consider. So the small little tips that I would have is network with partners, meaning just make sure that while you have a beta, like a simple app that people can test, already reach out to people. How do you find them? Well, Farcaster is a social app, so it has search. So you can search for a term. If you're in DeFi, you search DeFi. If you're looking for people who use USDC, you can do that. Let me remind you that we also have Dune dashboards because all of the data sits on a public network, on a protocol, and they have wallets connected. So if you're concerned about on-chain data and you want to find users who fit your criteria, you can do that. And that, to me, is also really underrated, to find potential partners. And then to build the connected wallet right in, right? Like, if the wallet is right in there, and I can literally show you this, live demo always works, right? But let me just literally give you a live demo, because I don't think many understand this. And we'll just go to farcaster.xyz. And this is a social feed, right? This looks and feels like Twitter, really cool. And we have notifications. And if we look, here's my little farming app, my little Farvale, just sending me push notifications about the game. Then yesterday, here's some kind of gift I got, yada, 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 right? This is a social app, and now I'm in here. If I open my Twitter, I don't have any app notification because that access isn't there. If I give you my mobile phone number, yes, you can send me notifications, but your notification here doesn't let me just open the app, right? So now the app opens, the app is there, it took a little bit, boom, I'm signed in. If I go to me, this is my profile. Did I click on any sign in? No. How does that work under the hood? Well, because we have a wallet here and we have connected accounts, we can just do cryptography, sign messages, and boom, I'm authenticated in the app. That's really cool. So that's just for you to understand, like, this is actually the full flow that we're dealing with here. So if we go back, the social graph is it. Like, me seeing my little profile there, like, if you have a user that isn't used to being recognized on social media, which, by the way, is probably 80, 90% of them, then just showing that is really, really cool. You also know the user. So coming back to targeted user acquisition, we just saw the ability to send push notifications. Did I tell you that on Farcaster you can send direct messages? Programmatically, meaning I can go filter on-chain data for users I want to target and send them a programmatic direct message. Yes, there's a spam inbox, you should get them to follow first, blah, blah, blah. This is a marketing tool. Like, we're here we want to learn how to go viral and talk about virality. We're not here concerned about, okay, should we not? The Farcaster apps will filter that out. But the mini app context, right? So when I open a mini app, and we just opened the little one that gave me gifts, right? They see which client I'm using. So they know that I came from the Farcaster client. They know if I came from a cast, from a notification. In this case, they know I came from the notification. So you can still track the success rate of your notifications. They know, do I have an X account or a GitHub connected? And my wallet addresses. So if we go in here and we just take Albi and we look at his account, we can see connected Ethereum accounts. And this is accounts that he has himself connected through Farcaster. And that's where we can now look that up on chain, and that's how we can do the connection. All of this data is open via an API that you don't have to pay for. You just either run the infra or use a provider, but you don't have to pay $40,000 to one single company. And the cool thing here, he connected his Twitter. I can go to his Twitter, boom, hey, Albi. I can send him a direct message here as well. So you now have all of these loops that you can use that I don't think you have anywhere else, right? And this, to me, is the really cool thing here. Did I mention you have the financial data? And there's a few apps that you can look at and just ask around. Embed, where Albi that I just showed you works. They do recommendations and search, so you can just put in a label and get search back, or just check a user. Dune has all of the dashboards, so if you want to just query easily, they have an AI that you can ask as well. Ask Gina if you want to have any questions about that. Sid is also in the audience, first row in the middle. They're literally just ChatGPT with Farcaster data and wallet data and a wallet write-in. That's a really cool tool. I would just encourage you to check those three out and play with them to just get familiar with the data a little more, because that helps you just understand the targeting abilities you have to then go viral. One of the things Embed does is they have labels, so you can even just go and say, oh, is this user posting about music, if you're a music app, or fitness, if you're a fitness app, right? And that's generally it. We've talked about target user acquisition. Here's a few links if you just want to learn more, have any kind of questions. We'll also be able to do a quick Q&A here. I think we have 3 minutes, roughly, to be able to do Q&A. The slides should be available at the blog. If there aren't, I'll do that after being done here on stage. Thank you. Other questions in the audience? Yes.
Just wait, please.
Oh, we have a mic. We have a mic.
Yes. So if I'm building a Solana app and I'm implementing a Farcaster frame, are all these features available to Solana apps?
Yes. The Farcaster mini app/frame gives you a Solana provider, so you can plug that into your Solana Web3.js, and then the social is just Farcaster. That is chain agnostic. You don't even have to use the wallet. So that's available to you as well, yes.
Okay, so there's no need for me to kind of rebuild the app on Base, for example.
No need.
Okay.
No need. You pick your chain. The only thing you have to be aware of, Solana is supported. The Farcaster team, what I showed you on web, is an embedded wallet they have. So if you're on some chain they don't support, you may have to DM them. Or if you want testnet support specifically, Solana that works.
And if, let's say, my wallets are hosted on Privy,
Privy works. Yeah, Privy works. Funnily, we're a Privy integration partner, so happy to talk to you about details there. But Privy works perfectly well. They have a docs post about mini apps as well. Most of the Privy apps, actually, I think 80% with embedded wallets or above use Privy.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yes. We have one over there. No, generally, Privy does all of this for you and just has they have a React auth package that has a use frame. I think it's still called use frame login method. I would recommend you to not use Farcaster as the primary login. Use email or just one, and then link the accounts, because otherwise you may have the situation that a user logs in with Farcaster, then on web they log in with mail, and you have 2 accounts, same user.
Oh, hi. Great talk. So if I am a mini app developer and I want to use users' funds in their wallet, like USDC, do I need to integrate DEX by ourselves, or is there a gateway that we can, token swaps, token bridge, something like that?
Yep. Okay, so if you're a mini app dev, let me just quickly open up the docs here. And there are these things called actions that have some things already for you. They have send a token, so you don't have to just use any kind of wallet integration. You can just literally do send a token or swap a token. The thing to know is that is then handled by the client. So some clients may not support that. The Farcaster app does, so you don't have to do the DEX integration yourself. All of this in these actions you can do. Usually, though, if you want to go more complex, you'll start potentially running into doing those integrations, though. But no, you don't need to.
Okay, thank you.
We have one in the back. I don't know if you have time.
Really quick, please.
Quickly. We get one more in.
Sorry. So how the Farcaster connect to the new Coinbase wallet announcement, the new app they're building?
The new Coinbase wallet integrates a Farcaster feed and the same mini app specification. So you can build it once, it works in both apps.
Thank you.
Thank you.